Good morning again. Honestly, I really hope everyone is having a good day, and I hope people are able to have fun and have some cheerfulness. I'm sorry that the various disturbing subjects are put on me, but they're matters that really should have always been made known to the people, and so I'm going to continue and go ahead and mention this item from April of 2012. Again, they were burning threats. Actually, the the quote is about a roasting thread. And as I began to write back on the particular day back then, the man I've mentioned him before that there was a day that he was a maniac in traffic din, a traffic roar of the intersection of Bee Ridge and Beneva Road, where on one day he being aware of my noting against him said that instead of saying that he sounded like Robert Stack, that he said that he's Savage Priest and that he's with an intent of trying to take over in the United States to burn people. They're really bad, you know. You know, they'd be beseeching on behalf of convicted murderers while at the same time conspiring to take good people out of their homes to be burned. So anyway, he got into the traffic broadcasting, opposing my testimony again, threatening that I'm somehow in a prison. But there was never any specific accusation. I've never even heard anyone. All they did was invade through the use of an operation and secretly conspire. So anyway, so I continue to write anyway, and then what happens is an old man who might have been Albert Hartman, the father who staged his death back in Miami back in near the end of February of 1967, got into the confusion wanting to accuse me about when I was a kid that I sometimes dropped matches on ant mounds. Because the ant mounds sometimes are very big ant mounds, and there were even cases of people being killed by the ants. That if you become immobilized, if you trip or something got stuck and you were on one of the ant mounds, they bite you hundreds and hundreds of bites until you'd be dead, and then they'd eat you. So anyway, the man alleging whoever he was describing himself as being on behalf of the ants. Of course, that means kind of partly emulating what they're about, and accusing me of being cruel and inhuman about having dropped matches on ant mounts when I was a kid occasionally. You know, they're really kind of backwards, and I'm afraid that, like I've said before in other reports through years, that some time ago, I guess it was maybe around 20 years ago, when some online dating services started using a "Find Your Match" slogan, I got worried because the abuse corruption that had been so sneaky earlier in life is. They might have conjured about me using matches from souvenir booklets that were from hotels and nightclubs. I got some from. I asked on one day I asked my grandmother for some matches because there was gigantic ant mounds in the alley nearby. So she gave me some matches that were from Miami Beach hotels. So all I did was I agree with other neighbors that don't like to have the big mounds on their yards. So anyway, I never even did anything to hurt any people. So anyway, I was worried that they might have conjured about that through the years, and instead of wanting to encourage men to be good dates, they'd be saying, "Find your match." You know, let's hope the girls are always just safe and stuff. So anyway, then the next thing he does, the same man accuses me of being a murderer. You know, I've never even hurt anyone. I've never been violent. I never did anything to anyone. But to cover for themselves, they use their influence and spread their terrible rumor. I've never done anything to anyone. Never. So anyway, then the next thing that happens, I don't know who it was, but somebody wanting to sound strange about it started threatening that they intend to roast Yules. Maybe just me saying Yules with an apostrophe, or Yules collectively, and they intend that they're collectively intending to all roast Yules, and that they want to think of themselves as being strangest creatures about it. Let's hope that everyone's going to be saved instead. I hope that these reports aren't a waste of time, and that the sensible concern is known to others, and that people get saved.